job.
Okay.
Okay. So can you tell me what GS stand for?
So GS stands for General Schedule, and it's a certain type of pay band. So so within the federal government, GS employees consist of about 70% of the federal government workforce, and the remaining 30% consists of different pay bands like GG, WR or something. But GS is like the most common pay band. It's the way you get paid.
Or GS, yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been working for the government?
So I've been working for the government for a little over 5 years. I started off working for the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, and then I switched over to GS, and I used to work for the hospital on base, and then I currently work for the IRS right now.
Yeah. I have a few more questions for you. So, so can you tell me how you got this job?
This job, the IRS,
To get this job? Yeah, to get this job.
to get this job, I think I applied to over 400 jobs,
Wow.
and I think I just suck at doing interviews, but I did about a little over 20 interviews. Once they gave me the job offer, I was like, okay, I'm going to Iowa then.
Yeah, we've been go through together. So you are in GS, like in South Korea, and you apply for another GS position, right?
Yeah. So just transfer, just internal transfer.
Can you tell me a little bit about the GS grade that you can promotive? Something like that?
Yeah, so the GS grade, so within the GS grade, there's the grade and there's the step, right? So with the grade, there's GS 1 through 15. I don't think they hire any grade below a 4, so I think the 4 is the lowest grade. And then the step is, so like, say for example, I'm a GS 12. Within the 12, there's 10 steps. So there's step 1 through 10. And I think it's from steps 1 through 4, you get promoted every year. Steps 5 through 7, you get promoted every 2 years. And steps 7 through 10, it's like every 4 years or something. Yeah, so there's the grade and there's a step.
Can you tell me about the GS pay scales?
So the pay scale with the GS is there's the base pay, and on top of the base pay, depends on where you live, the government will provide you with additional money called locality. So, like for example, if you live in Iowa, or like we live in Iowa, so the cost of living is not as high as, for example, like New York or California. So the pay in Iowa, the locality pay is less compared to someone in New York. So I believe the locality pay in Iowa an additional 17% of the base pay. And then I think in like New York it's like an additional like 30 something percent. So depends on where you live, or depends on where your job is. They'll your pay will differ, even though if it's the same GS12 job. Depends on where you work. You'll get paid differently.
Yeah. Can you tell me about government health insurance?
Yeah. So government health insurance is pretty good. Our health insurance is subsidized by the government, so they pay a big portion of it, and we only have to pay a smaller portion of it. And there's like a whole list of different health insurances you can choose from, like different companies and different plans, and like you just have to choose. So for example, like me, I'm paying for self plus one, so it's me plus her, and every 2 weeks I pay $150. So it's not bad. The coverage is pretty good. It's pretty affordable.
So how can people who are interested in U.S. federal government jobs apply?
So first, I believe you have to be a U.S. citizen. Once you have your citizenship, the good thing about the government is you don't necessarily need an education to work for the federal government. So with the government, it's either experience or education. So if you have the experience, you don't necessarily need to have like a master's degree or a bachelor's degree. You can work your way up. You can come in at a lower grade, and you can work your way up without an education. Of course, there's exceptions to that, such as like a lawyer or a doctor. Obviously, you would need an education for that. But like for my position and for a lot of other positions, you don't need an education. And some of the jobs, like if the job requires for you to get a certification, the government will provide you the education materials, and they'll provide you with the test, and then you can get certified through the government, and then you can just have the job. So you don't have to go on your own. Like they'll provide all the materials for you.
I think that was all of my questions today. So are you satisfied with this job, or do you wanna looking for another job eventually? What do you think?
I think I'm satisfied with this job. So with my job, I like the work, and I like the work-life balance that the federal government jobs provide. So it's like no overtime. You work 40 hours and you're done. You can go home. Health benefits is good. Job stability is good. And the thing with the government is the promotions are done based on time in grade. So like with the private sector, your promotions are based off of performance, right? So whether your boss wants to promote you, you know, how good you perform at work. But with the federal government, the promotions are done off of time. So if you spend 1 year in a GS-12, after that 1 year, you're eligible to be promoted to GS-13. So that's the good thing. It's like you're always guaranteed a promotion. Well, granted that you have to apply for the promotion, you have to interview for it.
Yeah.
But it's different. It's like you're guaranteed a promotion. The thing with the government is the pay is not the best, but the benefits and the leave and the sick leave and the health insurance, like work schedule, all of that is worth it. Yeah. So if anyone who's interested in applying for federal government jobs, if you go to usajobs.gov, that's the website that the government uses to list all the vacancy announcements. So you can apply on there. If you have any questions, feel free to leave any comments, and maybe we can make a second video.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.